Good morning. I'm home. And boy, are there things that we didn't take care of when we left. I am right this minute looking at two of the vases, make that three, from the Edwardian tea that never got emptied. Now, our house smelled like old house when we got here, so at least they haven't gone to stink. I'm pretty sure I went out and picked daffodils, and we did have a friend bring a vase of flowers shortly after. But yeah, it's a little bedraggled. I'll flip this around and show you my beautiful. I get to sit and look at my wallpaper right now because we didn't bring furniture and put it back in the living room. So I get to sit and look at my favorite wallpaper. And I love my fireplace now. So now I just have to get the rest of the house up to par. But I'm going to show you our little, well, you can see the mess behind us. We came in last night, dropped suitcases, and went to bed. But a mantle that I still am in love with. But see the base? See that base? And then Grayson moved into the desk that's sitting in the middle of the room and took over. So there's a lot of art supplies here right now. And I've got to have, I do a presentation for one of my old professional conferences shortly. Morning coffee. David got up much sooner than I did. And look at that. Have you ever had a discussion about the lack of ice in the UK? Oh my gosh. I don't know why we're obsessed by ice in the US, but this girl loves the ice. Don't know how I'm going to survive for any length of time in the UK. We do have plans to live there for 6 months, and I don't know how I will survive the lack of ice. I may become an alcoholic because it's the only way you can get ice. In fact, and I'm going to put that footage in here. I'm going to put it right here. The night before David's mother had a miraculous recovery. I hope to goodness she wasn't faking us out. I have yet to get a satisfactory answer from her, but I haven't heard from her friends, so she must have made it. She must have truly kept it up after we left. But so we came home as scheduled. The Wednesday night, we took a train from Wales to London, and we stayed at the airport. If you can find a decent priced room at the airport, I highly recommend it if you have a morning flight. It is so much less stressful than trying to have to get yourself to the airport from anywhere in London, and definitely from Wales, because we've done that a time or two as well, is like booked the flight at noon and then got up at the crack of dawn and got on the train, and then we're worried about connections and blah, blah, blah. So highly recommend. The one that is on the international terminal is the Hilton Garden Inn. It was a great room, fine room. Reasonably priced compared to London, because London sucks price-wise. Last time we went, we stayed at the Sofitel that's at Terminal 2. It was not as expensive as it was this time. This time it was way out of our acceptable budgets. So, or we would have stayed there because they have our bed. We love their beds. But so we stayed at the Hilton Garden Inn. I'd totally stay there again. The bed was very comfortable. And but hints, guys, hint. When you book these airport hotels, they do not tell you how to get to them. You can see them. There are signs that say go up the elevator to this hotel, but nobody says get off at floor X and walk to the hotel. Nobody says that. So we spent an inordinate amount of time wandering around. We could see the hotel. We could see the road to the hotel. We could not see the hotel. So if you ever decide to stay at the Hilton Garden Inn, you go to Terminal 2. You get out of the MAX station on the Elizabeth line. You walk into the departures level, ground level. You can walk directly across the parking lot unless there's a fence, and you can walk right in the lowest level of the hotel. Now, we didn't do this, so take this with a grain of salt. If you can't get across the parking lot and out, it looked to me like you could. But just in case you can't, that's your first hint, is ground level. You can walk in at the bottom level. If not, go up to the second floor. Now, in the US, that's the third floor. But when you push the button, it'll be two. You push two. You get out. You walk all the way across the parking garage, and there is a secret doorway that says Hilton Garden Inn, and you can go in, and their check-in is on the second floor. So there you go. Now that's how you get there. We had a drink in the first floor bar. It was lovely. We were the only people in there. Not a great view. I heard that there is a rooftop view bar. We just didn't go because we had other plans. After that, we went to Richmond, UK. Richmond, a suburb of London. Happens to be where Kew Gardens is, so it's like right near Kew. We drove right past the wall of Kew Gardens. Sorry, couldn't see in. But I got to tell you, the houses around that area, that neighborhood is lovely. I felt very comfortable there.
HSBC said we would look after the people.
Thursday through Saturday. So I see Wool and the Gang. I see a local indie dyer. Looks like, oh, socks, yeah. I can't see. Oh, Ginger Twist. Ginger Twist. Of course she's in there, but she isn't going to open the door for me. Oh, and look at the bags. Those are neat. All right, there you go. Grab life by the balls. Back on the back wall. Very cute yarn store. Too bad they aren't open. Let's see. Tribeyarns.com.
Pricey. We looked at the real estate too. Not going to live there ever, ever, ever. Not even sure we could afford rent there. We didn't ask. So David had some old friends from years ago that said, "Hey, let's meet for dinner." So we did. And they lived just like a block away from where we ultimately had dinner. Lovely little neighborhood, lots of shops, lots of coffee shops. We went to a chocolate coffee shop thing. It's like a local chain just there. And I'll put the link in the info below. It was tasty. And you get to choose your amount of chocolate or your darkness in your chocolate range. I got milk chocolate because I'm a chicken. I totally could have amped it up a good 10, 20% in the chocolate range. So that was fun, the chocolate. I told David that at the time, I said, man, if we had one of these, I'd give up Starbucks in a heartbeat. Chocolate, yes. Because it was good chocolate, I don't really like chocolate in the U.S. Never have. I grew up not liking chocolate. And then we moved to the UK and I discovered Cadbury's and went, now I understand why chocolate's good. And I kind of fell in love with chocolate, but only ate Cadbury's. Well, guess who bought Cadbury's? Yeah, the US market did. So now they've ruined Cadbury's and it doesn't taste the same. And I found out why. They put in, I guess it's an enzyme or an acid that the US market's used to. And they put that into our Cadbury's and therefore it tastes, taste changed. I taste it very strongly. I don't know if I have super taste buds or what, but it's not good anymore. So now it's only the expensive stuff for me. Oh, and my coffee is so good. I've only been able to have hot coffee or Starbucks, but Starbucks was not, I'm just going to say it wasn't good this time. The coffee in the UK was sorely lacking, very lacking. And we found a new Starbucks in Newport with a drive-up window, which was super exciting. And it had great seats too, so we could sit. And it was near where David's mother was in the hospital when she was in for I think she was in for 3 days. We picked her up on Monday. Yeah, 3 days. And so we could just pop down, drive over there, and sit when we needed a break or she needed a nap or whatever. But the coffee wasn't great. David even said so. He's like, not great. Now, I have learned to order coffee afield, and the way that I do that is Starbucks only throws one shot into their tall. So their coffee is relatively weak, and I like weak coffee. So what I've learned to do is when I go to other places, I say, "How many shots of espresso do you put in this size coffee?" And if they say 2, I say, "Well, will you just give me a 1 shot, please? I like it weak." And they do, and it's drinkable. The other technique I use is say, "Give me a mocha." That way there's sugar in there, and it's fine. Anyway, I survived. I went to many different coffee shops. Did we have one that was stellar? Yeah, we did, and I can't remember which one it was. I'll think about it and I'll put it right here if I remember. Um, we did go to one coffee shop and I remember going, wow, this is good. But I don't remember which one it was. It was very good. May have been the garden center day. But I had tea that day. Don't remember. One day I had good coffee. Can't tell you what day it was. But it had to have been in Newport because that's all we went. We just popped out to the grocery store and stuff. We didn't do anything else. The garden center. Oh, and it was not good at Tredegar House. We did go to on the last day we were there, and I didn't film, and I'm sorry, guys, but at least I don't think I did. We went to Tredegar House. I will put the link below. It is a National Trust site now and a Newport-owned property. It's an old manor house, beautiful manor house. At times it was a manor house, a school. It has a gorgeous walled garden that I saw years ago. And I saw the house years ago as well. And then they have little shops in the, like the workers' sheds, maybe even the stables. I think it is the stables, actually. And they have a quilt shop there where I bought a couple of things, and I'll show you a couple embroidery kits that I'll show you in the upcoming days. And then they have a music shop where they fix musical instruments. And then new to me was they're selling used books to help earn money to support the house, I'm gathering. And they had a library in there. And then they had a coffee shop that was okay. And they closed their gift shop. So they don't have a gift shop. They just have little like tote bag stuff from the National Trust, and that's all. But it was good. It's a great park. Lots of dogs. Apparently dogs, and I've never noticed it before, but I guess dogs are allowed in most restaurants in the UK. And it's a very dog-friendly country, why I never noticed that before, I don't know, but I really noticed it this time. Maybe because post-pandemic, there are more dogs. But I saw lots of people walking dogs, lots of dogs in restaurants, lots of very well-behaved dogs everywhere. And our friends in Richmond also brought their dog, and he was super cute. He was a little guy. I don't even know what breed he was, but he was a little, terrier-ish kind of dog. He was cute, very lovely, very well behaved, very nice. He came over when he figured out I like to give pets. He came over and hung out with me for a while. So then it was home. Dinner, flight all day, such a long day. Denver wasn't as bad as usual, but it wasn't great. We had to get off the plane. And when I got off the plane, I said to David, look, we're at gate A21. How much you bet we end up flying out of gate A21 and we have to walk into customs 3 miles and then 3 miles back? Guess what? We had to walk 3 miles. It seemed like it, and it probably was. All the way across a road to another building to go through customs, hidden from everybody else. It was like upstairs. And then we had to turn around and get on a tram, at least for like that much of it, back across the road to get back to the A concourse, and we flew out of A23. That's how much ridiculous walking we did for customs. Yeah. But we had plenty of time. Their conveyor belt worked this time, so they weren't making old people lug bags all day, every day. It was crazy when we went through last time. We got home about 8 p.m. and we went to bed. So that was the end of our day. So tired. So tired. So as I'm doing this talking, I'm going to show you the footage that I took during our walk, during our drives, in chronological order. So I'm just going to intersperse it. You will have seen most of it, or if not all of it by now. Actually, what I'll do is I'll save the landing for right here, and I'll put our landing in. We got some great scenery. I got to see three of the mountains as we flew in, not Mount Hood, three of the Washington ones. So it was Mount St. Helens and Mount Adams, and I'm not sure what the third mountain was, unless Mount Rainier peaked out in between Mount St. Helens. Don't know. If you guys know what the three mountains I saw from the view of the window was, let me know. And then we got to see the Dowels from the window. That was before the mountains. And then you saw the Jerk as we. Or you will see it now, right? All right, that's it for me today. It's just going to be a wrap up of me coming home. I will see you on Wednesday. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. There'll be more knitting and crocheting and quilting and sewing and gardening in this house because there's trim to paint and all kinds of things ahead. Kelly's at a rabbit show this weekend, so maybe she'll put a little few pictures up of that. I know I've seen one up of the back of her van. And then Laura is off at Shuttlebirds because I missed it. I'm going to try and go up for a couple of days. I'm feeling really woozy and jet lagged right now. I've got 2 presentations to do for my old job and my old new kind of reviving job. And then I'm going to try and take off for Spokane, see my grandkids, take them their prezzies, see a little bit of shuttle.